Look, Toon Army. Today it honestly feels like we're living inside a proper soap opera at Newcastle. The name of the day? Jorgen Strand Larsen, a striker who could arrive as a dream solution. But we've also got a serious injury to Joe Linton, and millions on the line because of the Champions League. And wait, because the biggest bomb comes at the end. Larsen's agent is already pulling strings to push through the £60 million deal before the final deadline. You don't want to miss this. I'm Rodrigo, and this is Newcastle Mania, the channel made by a fan, for fans, of our glorious Newcastle United. And if you blinked, Newcastle are already making headlines across the world. Today we've got 3 stories that could directly shape the future of this club. So stick with me until the very end, because the last one is the hottest of them all. But first, just a quick word. Remember when Chelsea fans mocked us, saying our channel would never grow because Newcastle's fan base was too small? Well, they've gone quiet now, because our numbers just keep climbing. Let's shut them all up for good. Smash that subscribe button right now. It costs nothing and shows the strength of the black and white army. Let's march towards 1,000 subscribers. News 1. Joe Linton injured. To kick things off, it's bad news. Joe Linton is injured. It happened in that 3-2 defeat against Liverpool. And if you watch the game, you'll know exactly what I mean. Our giant walked off the pitch clearly in pain, limping, head down, and you could tell straight away it wasn't anything simple. In the press conference after the match, Eddie Howe didn't sugarcoat it. He said, "Honestly, it doesn't look good." And when the gaffer himself speaks like that, you can feel the weight of the situation. The result? Joe Linton has already been ruled out of Brazil's squad for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Brazil will face Chile and Bolivia without him, and in his place Dorival has called up Jean Lucas from Bahia. No disrespect to Jean, but let's be honest, it's just not the same. And here's the part that really hurts. Toon Army. If Joe Linton already leaves a massive hole here at Newcastle, where's the engine, the lungs, and even a leader on the pitch? Imagine how much Brazil will miss him. He'd become a key figure for the Silicao, one of their most reliable players. The kind of guy who wins duels, presses hard, creates chances, and still pops up an attack. Without him, Brazil lose intensity, lose steel in midfield, and lose a physical presence that terrifies opponents. And for us, in the Premier League, it's an even bigger problem. This league doesn't forgive. Every match is a battle, and losing a player of this level right now feels like opening a crater in the squad. The truth is, Joe Linton is not just another player. He has become a symbol of the team, someone the fans respect, opponents fear, and teammates trust. That's why this injury feels like a nightmare, both for us and for Brazil. News 2. Champions League and a lot of money at stake. All right, lads, now we've got to talk about money. And not just a little. We're talking about a massive jackpot that could change the future of Newcastle United. The Champions League draw is right around the corner, and just by being in this competition, the club is already counting pounds. To give you an idea, just for taking part from the start, more than £15 million dropped straight into the club's pocket. And that's only the beginning. Each win in the group stage brings in almost £2 million more. Even a draw pays something, but winning is where the real gold is. And as the team moves forward, the amounts just keep going up. Round of 16 quarterfinals, semifinals, every step is another financial boost. Reaching the final? That's like opening a whole vault from UEFA. Want a clear example of how big this is? Look at Aston Villa last season. They only made it as far as the quarterfinals, but even then, they're raked in around £75 million when you add up gate receipts, TV money, and prize money. £75 million. Just to compare, that's nearly half of everything Newcastle made in the entire last Premier League season. So, this isn't just about excitement, rivalries, and the prestige of Europe. We're talking survival within the new PSR rules, that financial system that's swallowing clubs whole and forcing everyone to balance the books. The Champions League isn't just glamour, it's practically a lifeline. Winning that money means being able to keep hold of our star players, renew contracts, and, most importantly, bring in heavyweight signings. Without that financial breathing space, the fight against the Giants gets harder and harder. And here's another massive detail, the brand new Champions League format. Last year, Newcastle fell straight into the group of death, facing PSG, AC Milan, and Borussia Dortmund and got knocked out early. But now, the rules have changed to the so-called Swiss model. That guarantees more matches, more chances to rack up points, and more opportunities to earn money. It's a format that could really benefit clubs like Newcastle, teams that need time and games to grow, to show strength, and to gain experience in Europe. Just imagine, a solid campaign, going beyond the first round, bringing international attention, putting the club's name on headlines across Europe, and at the same time pumping millions more into the bank. The impact will be massive, not just on the pitch, but also behind the scenes, strengthening the Newcastle United brand and giving the club the respect it deserves in the European scene. So now I've got to ask you, Toon Army, can we dare to dream? Can Newcastle go further, make it to the quarterfinals, or maybe even dare to reach a historic semifinal? Because if that happens, it won't just be a sporting achievement, it'll be a turning point for the entire future of the club. News 3, the main one, Jürgen Strand-Larsen. And here we are, lads, the news that could completely change Newcastle's season. We're talking about Jürgen Strand-Larsen. For those who don't know him that well yet, Larsen is a Norwegian striker, 25 years old, and he was one of Wolves' biggest standouts in the Premier League last season. He scored 14 goals, showed presence in the box, pace, and even personality in big games. And just to prove it wasn't a one-off, he's already started the season in style, came off the bench against West Ham in the Carabao Cup and, in just 15 minutes, scored twice, knocking the Hammers out almost on his own. In other words, this lad steps onto the pitch and gets the job done. And Newcastle know that. That's why we've already tried twice to bring him in. The first bid was rejected. The second came close to £55 million, but Wolves stood firm and said no. Why? Because they know Larsen is absolutely key to keeping them in the Premier League. Selling him now would be too risky, because in English football, goals mean survival. But here's the twist. Larsen's agent, Tor Peterson, isn't waiting around. He's flying into England, and the Norwegian press says he's coming with one mission, to push this transfer through to Newcastle. And when an agent moves like that, it usually means the player himself has made it clear he wants the deal. To back that up, Norway's national team coach, Stale Solbakken, came out and said it straight. He called this a dream transfer for Larsen. According to him, Newcastle's style fits perfectly with the striker's qualities, a team that plays fast, uses a lot of crosses, presses high, and needs a number 9 who can find space and finish. Translation? This is the perfect stage for Larsen to shine even brighter. But of course, there's a catch. Wolves only bought Larsen not long ago for £23 million, and now they won't let him go for less than double that. We're talking about a deal that could easily go past £60 million. And here's the drama. Will Newcastle be willing to splash that much on a player who isn't yet considered world-class? And the clock is ticking. The transfer window closes on Monday, 7 p.m. sharp. That means every single minute from now is crucial. It's got all the feeling of a proper transfer saga, agent landing in the country, emergency meetings, directors scrambling to find a number that works for everyone. And fans, just imagine this with me. Monday evening, final minutes of the window, tension in the air, and suddenly the breaking news. Jürgen Strand-Larsen signs for Newcastle United. A player who arrives in form, with goals in his boots and hunger to prove himself, pulling on the black and white shirt. That would be absolutely epic. Not only because it strengthens our attack at a time when Alexander Isak is surrounded by controversy and Callum Wilson has lost his place, but also because it would show Newcastle mean business, ready to fight rivals head-on and not let golden opportunities slip away. So here's the big question. Will the board have the courage to pull the trigger and close this dream deal? Or will this saga end in frustration like so many before? The answer, Toon Army, is coming in the next few days, and it promises to take our breath away right up to the last second of the window. And that's the situation. Joe Linton's sidelined with injury, Newcastle looking at millions from the Champions League, and Larsen may be the solution for our attack, with his agent already making moves. All this while the clock keeps ticking. So I'll throw it to you. Do you think Newcastle should go all in for Larsen, even if it costs big money, or hold back and wait until January for another option? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to loads of you. This has been another Newcastle Mania. I'm Rodrigo, and I'll tell you this. If the Premier League doesn't wait, Newcastle won't wait either. So smash that like button, share it with a fellow Geordie, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Until next time, and hoy the lads.